it up with individuals. See what's the talk of talents going down the word of the curve. You heard me? Let me just set this up real quick. Now, for those who are curious, I did drop a new video on my other channel, another battle rap action that was Fuego, featuring some classic beats, some of the, good beats, in my personal opinion, some of the best ones. One of the main things with music is, the beats in themselves, right? It's probably the most difficult part, and it literally will make or break the song. So we have that going on the other channel if you guys want to scope that one out. Right? And now I did make the changes to the G files on the video that YouTube had flagged, and I submitted my claim, so now I'm waiting for them to get back at me. It's crying like in Jose. So hopefully they don't lag it to get back at me. And I did the changes myself. Instead of waiting for Certify, I just did it myself. And I gotta admit, it wasn't that difficult. I think I did a pretty good job. That's why it's like, oh no, we're definitely gonna fight this claim, because shit, we didn't be right there ripping our brains out for no reason. What's cracking like it, Derek? What you getting yourself into, my boy? That's right, getting ready to make the Skrilla illa. How about them Vikings today, no? They fucking killed the Commanders. They fucking annihilated them. They gave them an ass whooping for the century. That team just looked defeated out there. Bros didn't even score a field goal, bro. That's sad. Not even a field goal, bro. That's crazy. It's rare you see that. And against, the Vikings, which is weird. You would figure it would have been like one of these, like, elite teams, right? Like these dominated teams that would have done that, but I guess they must have had their number. With a mistake like that, I think at that point you gotta start looking at the coaching staff like, hey, what are you guys doing? Like, are you guys even putting an effort? Like, you can't be getting your ass whooped by that much and not score a damn thing. That's almost as bad as like the Charlotte Bobcats when they had their whole thing going. Hey, because running a team, hey, that's a little bit more difficult. Look at Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. He bought the Charlotte Bobcats, and you would think with his, basketball knowledge and his greatness that it would have, that he would have made a great owner. But fuck, man, he was horrible. And even picking draft picks, he was awful. So that goes to show, hey, that job is a little bit more harder than people thought it was. Because not even the GOAT himself was able to do it. What is this? Welcome to my channel. Mr. Pasa's definitely up in the casa for the raza. ¿Qué onda, carnal? ¿Qué es la buena vida? How's your day going? Hope everybody's having a lovely Sunday. Hey, I know the Raiders played the Broncos today, bro, but we're running with the division. That's it. It's done deal. We took the division already. To my surprise, fucking Aaron Rodgers is getting his Steelers fucking into the playoffs. That bastard. They actually beat the Ravens. I was like, what the fuck? Who would have knew that old man still had something in the tank? Considering he was going up against the former MVP, type of athlete, right? In Lamar Jackson. What's cracking lacking? Alex Joe's mom, what's good? Those some people who don't want to, but Well, yeah, you like it's different. You not wanting to like you know get in an altercation with somebody, right? You wanna obviously calmer heads prevail, but that's different from someone that's actually creating the problem, right? While somebody who's just looking to just mind his own business, right? But if push, and has no choice, he's gonna handle business compared to somebody who's creating the mess and calling the people out, but yet when they finally step up to him, he doesn't want to, you know, throw hands. Then he's considered the real bitch because he's the one that created the mess, and then now he just wants no part of it. Compared to this individual who just didn't want no situation, right? But now that it's here, then he's willing to defend himself. you know. One thing I'm gonna miss about SoCal is their food. Better than Northern Cali? Or is it just because like the amount of locations that there is in Southern Cali? What's cracking like in Dashpool? Because I would figure that Northern Cali would have bomb food spots, but since it's not as populated, it probably doesn't have as many. Oh no! I haven't scoped out. I'll scope it out after the live if anything. Hi King. King? I'm not a king. I would never want to be king. I'd rather just be in the crowd. Yeah, but I'll definitely scope out the rapper, after. Did you watch the Pitbull fight last night? Nah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't get to scope that. I didn't get to scope it. I had seen that there was a fight, but I just didn't get to scope it out. You know, we were doing other stuff and drinking and whatnot. And the food here is on another level, both in quality, but also and from the valley, which is different than the bay. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. It's more um, it's not like big city living. What are your thoughts on racist gangs like KKK, Aryan Brotherhood, Nazi lowriders? Well, technically, the KKK is not the same thing. Well, all these groups are different in a way. KKK is essentially they're seen as like a political group, kind of like the protesting and all that type of shit, right? Like the you know picket signs and whatnot, right? The AB is more like a mob, and the Nazi lowriders are more like a gang, right? So they're all a little bit different. Now the difference, though, even though they share similar like ideologies, in all true reality, only one of those groups is truly the racist ones, though, which is the KKK. The reason I say that is because the KKK are true racists, meaning in the sense that what a racist is if someone is racist, they don't like somebody for their ethnicity, for their culture, right? To the point where they wouldn't associate with the individuals or take nothing from them, meaning even women or business or nothing like that, right? Like they wouldn't do business with somebody of another, ethnicity. Like let's say they wouldn't do business with blacks or sleep with a black woman or do business with black folks because of their racism. That's what a true racist, is, right? So that's how the KKK moves. The other two groups, though, even though they push that ideology, though, is not to that extreme because they're willing to do business and, you know, have interactions, right? If it's financially beneficial. While this other group, no, we wouldn't take their money. We're not gonna take their money. You know. So one of those groups is truly the like real racist ones. While the other one's just it's mostly propaganda. To be honest with you. Like, sure, you'll have racist individuals in those gangs, right? But not all of them see it that way, right? Especially the ones that are, getting a bigger wallet. You'll be surprised what money makes people do. What do you tell some people who don't believe that America would go down if white people became? Elon Musk said that America won't go down if white people become the minority. Like, how so though? Like, like in numbers, or you mean just in their culture in general? One thing that always blows my mind though, and okay, example. Say like if a Mexican had a child with a white woman, or vice versa, or let's say a black and a white person have a child together, right? All of a sudden, that child is only considered like, let's say, black. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's black. Well, no, he's also white. Can't just say that he's black. You know what I mean? Like, they're both. So the culture doesn't die like these people like to preach out there, right? That their culture will be eradicated, or they're, like, no, bro. Like, just because someone, has a like interracial relationship doesn't now mean that all of a sudden they have a child, that child will become their ethnicity and just not theirs. Like, like that's that paranoia fucking type of thinking. Like players like, let's say, Klay Thompson or Blake Griffin, right? Whose parents are white and black, but people just consider them black though, which is strange. Like, well, no, they're both, bro. But a lot of people tend to see it that way, and I don't know why. And plus, Elon Musk's dad says a lot of crazy shit. Ain't no wonder why his kid turns out to be the way he was. That's on. Who call out President Raza for having a relationship with white guys in prison. Look, the only color that matters is green, and green only. All right? There is no relationships. There is no alliances. There is no nothing like that. It's only business. It's never personal. It's just simply business, right? And the only color that matters is green, right? And that's it. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's individuals that are black that have done business with groups as well, right? Have, have created routes together to achieve, financial gain, right? But that's stuff that's never spoken about, and because it goes against what the rhetoric they're trying to spin, That's right. Do you like Blue Devil's music? Do you like Blue Devil's music? What? Blue Devil's a rapper? Don't fuck around. Is he? Hey, wait, are we talking about Haters World, or who are we talking about here? If we are talking about Haters World, he's a rapper? I didn't even know that, bro. If he is. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Why G-Face claim to be from white fans and not like, I know the whole story behind that, right? But I'm just not gonna throw it on, the internet. But yeah, he was from Armenian Power. He was not from Wyfens, but he would claim Wyfens. But I don't know. Only it's crazy. The game of pretend is insane, no? And that's just not rumors. It's I actually know individuals from West Side Wyfens, right? I mean, shit, homie Smiley, he's from literally from there, right? So I don't know what he was thinking, bro. It's just crazy. But it's a trip that the world, like everybody just didn't put it together though. It's like it was kind of obvious if you really think about it though. For somebody who was pushing that narrative and that line and speaking that and giving that energy, right? But never had no homies around him, right? In all his videos that you see him, he's with the brothers, never no Hispanics ever. For somebody who's like so engaged and in that, but never no homies around is kind of strange. I mean, that should have been the ref the gates. I know if he is a rapper. If he is a rapper. Oh, okay. No, he's not I don't think he's a rapper. What he was is he was like friends with the individuals who used to rap, like like Little Yogi, Snapper, and individuals like that. So he was like their camp, right? I think he would like uh record videos and stuff like that, right? But he was just like their homie, pues. And he would like record them and put like videos together for them and shit like that. I don't think he was a rapper though. I mean, if he is, I never heard of his music, right? But I'll scope it out, right? But I think that he was just that though. Because I'm pretty sure if he was a rapper, they would have featured him in some of their music. And I never heard of like him being on their music though. Glendale has Armenian power. No. Yes, Glendale, Burbank, and Hollywood has a lot of Armenians. And those individuals, hey, they're down. They're down. I know East Hollywood. Yeah, and they definitely beef it with Wyfens. They definitely have like big animosity on that side of town, like West Side Wyfens and Armenian Power, right? I mean, he made songs dissing them. He made songs dissing Wyfens, and then all of a sudden he's claiming Wyfens. I don't know. It was strange. You know, he made several rap songs dissing them, but then he comes out of nowhere and he's claiming it, and the internet believed it because of the tattoos. That's what I'm saying, bro. The internet always does that, bro. They always fall for it, bro. Always fall for it. It never fails. The internet swears like they know what's gangster, bro. Anytime they see an individual coming all tatted, they just automatically fall for it all the time, bro. Happened with Savage Studio too when he first came on and said he was an active individual, and then it turned out that he was never even a part of the of the group. And that because I know that individual. He's from my area, right? He was from a black gang, not a Mexican gang. No, he wasn't from a black. He was from a black crew, a black crew. And then he got arrested for a home invasion, and he wanted to claim Mexican, but it didn't go well. But people fell for it because of the tattoos. And they keep falling for it still. I don't watch his content, but the whole time I thought Blue Devil was known for being a rapper. What is he known for then? For being a part of the Little Yogi's camp, rapping camp. like what is Madlock and 626, and that group. And then and then now YouTube, obviously. Did you rather be fit with Armenia? No, no, because Glendale's like a little bit of a distance. But I knew individuals, a lot of individuals actually from Armenian Power. Actually, had a good homie from there, Gunther. It was a big boy. He was down. He was cool. Wasn't Savage Studio in Exile Center who joined APCK? That's what he would say, but he actually belonged to a black crew who then he got busted and he tried to run with Raza, but lied about his background. He tried to say he was from like a Pacoima set, but once word traveled and they found out that it wasn't, he PC'd up because he felt like, at that point that he was probably in danger. So that's when he rolled it up. He rolled it up pretty quick as soon as he got there, and then he joined the 2-5ers. Yeah, but he never belonged to a Mexican gang though. Well, the 2-5s then, yeah, but that's in the streets now. I would see him around. He looked like a skater, like a skater dude. But he would hang around and had some damn park with like black individuals. That's why he had that stilo, because those were his friends. I mean, the Pacoima tattoo that he has tattooed on him should have gave him away from the gates, right? Because only the black individuals put Pacoima with a K. Like he had it tattooed on him. Like you'll never see a Mexican that's from the city of Pacoima misspell Pacoima or put a K instead of a C. You get what I mean? That's why I thought it was strange. The first time I had came across this channel, I was like, why does this guy look familiar? And then, the homie's like, hey, that's the fool that we used to see. All right. I go, why? Why is he claiming to be like from the South? He's not from the South. And he definitely was not from no Mexican Pacoima gang. But people believed it. That's how I knew. That's when I knew, like, man, the internet and YouTube is so gullible. Because there's Armenians in Pasa, but yeah, no, there's a lot of Armenians in Glendale, like a lot. That's probably like the biggest group in that area. Armenians, then probably like whites, Asians, and then Mexicans. Probably the last. You won't find that many Mexicans in Glendale. That's why there's a lot of Armenians that are from Tunerville too, and a lot of those gangs that are in that area. That's why they have so many Armenians. We have a few Armenians in our neighborhood too. Wait, so you knew Savage personally, or you knew the situation? Yeah, the reason I knew like who he was and stuff like that is the black individuals that he associated himself with were homies with one of my like road dogs, that would get his weed from that individual. So like they were cool, right? That's why when I made that video about Savage Studio, which was like probably one of my first videos, right? When I actually started talking on YouTube, right? I'm one of the few channels he never ever responded to because I actually personally really know him. He knew what I was saying in my video, and I wasn't talking shit on my video, right? You guys already know I don't disrespect people on the internet and stuff, right? But I just said the truth of things, right? And he never and he loved to respond, right? But he never responded to my video because he knew what I was saying was like he knew that he couldn't though. Like bro, we know this. We know what you're saying and what I'm saying is, we know that you're wrong, bro. You know what I mean? Like I can't, he can't fool me like the other individuals because, like I said, I actually personally knew the situation. But no, he wasn't from Pacoima, Peru. He was from like a crew, like it was a crew, but it was a crew of black individuals, but they were like kind of like bloods, sort of. You get me? Like they would sport red. It's like they were trying to sort of like become a gang, kind of, right? Um, but there was only a little bit of them. There was only like I forgot the name of that shit too. I used to know the name of it, but it was only like 8 individuals and like a few females that were from that set. They had started like as a party crew, and then they started getting into all kinds of shit, right? Like 50-50, yeah. Differently more. Yeah, but see, but yeah, I'm not gonna get into all that. You already know all that prison talk. I'm just gonna leave it there. You know, and yeah, like what we consider, like just because like the South considers a yard bad, doesn't mean that the yard is bad. Like for other groups, like if a white's there or a black is there, right? Only for certain groups. It's like I said. I have always said this. Just because one gang has a set of rules doesn't mean that all the gangs have the same rules, right? Everyone has different rules. That's why when I say when people try to apply one gang's rules to another gang, I like that's fucking stupid. Like, nah, homie, they can't do that because I have a homie from this other gang and they can't do that. And it's like you're trying to apply that gang's rules to this gang. That is crazy. Like, do you not hear you? Do you not hear what you're saying? Yeah, actually, man. Armenian dude, honestly, he wasn't gay, but he went to fight in the war. That's crazy. There have been others that tried to establish in Masa that power. No, well that happens everywhere, bro. Like in every area, there has always been gangs that have tried to set up shop and just some hoods pulling it off, some hoods don't. It's just the way it is. I never knew blacks had their own tagging. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, black gangs have a lot of crews, bro. There's a lot of crews that are black, like black individuals. Yeah, you had like they had a lot of party crews as well. Like you do have a lot of black people that are in crews. They just don't only have gangs. Yeah, I used to know this black crew who I knew a lot of individuals from there called Too Nasty. Right? They would write the number two and then nasty. Two N. That's how they would tag it. And I knew a homie Nutty from there. He was cool. He was like the main dude, if anything. I think him and his brother. But they're cool people though. There's a group they call Fast Life. They're a crew of young. They can, but they really. Well, yeah, no, there's like tag banging crews everywhere. Like, there's so many of them. It's not even funny. But you can always tell what they're. The names in themselves will tell you the mentality of the individuals in that group. Like, you have like, let's say, if it's called um like the tagging ones, for example, like Cali Bombing Squad or Can't Stop Mobbing or Taggers Out of Control. or graffiti nightlife. You get me? Okay, so it all revolves roughly around graffiti and in the name compared to a crew that's like called like traviesos or delincuentes de las calles. You get what I mean? Like you can always tell, okay, these individuals are trying to be like gangster and these individuals are trying to be tiger. The names in themselves will say a lot, about them. Like locked out criminals or like fucking assassin kings and shit like that. Compared to a crew that's like toy eaters and shit like that. Tagging isn't really a black thing though. Oh, you'll be surprised. There's a lot of black tigers, bro, and that are pretty good too. Yeah, you have blacks that are in tagging crews that are really good. You know, maybe like black gangs. You mean in the sense, right? But no, there's black individuals that tag and like the whole graffiti nightlife and shit like that. Yeah, but mostly mostly these crews, right? Like let's say the one that Seven Studio was from, they weren't like a graffiti crew. They were more like a party crew that was indulging in you know illegal activity as well. You know what I mean? Like home invasion, what he got arrested for. Tagging is more of a Mexican thing. Yeah, it is. But you'll be surprised. It's like it's 50-50. It's like Mexican and white. A lot of white people are taggers. There's a lot of white guys that are taggers. Like oneers. Like a lot of the oneers are whites. Yeah, blacks have dancing crews. Yeah, like party crews. Yeah, like dancing, like break dancing crews and party crews and stuff like that. They say the black program is much easier than the South program. I don't know. Not in the black program, I can say. AGK used to be a Titan crew and Palm Down. Yeah, the black. Yeah, um, like some of the crews, like party crews over here, were like what was the too damn sexy. Uh, what was the other one? Um, for the girls, it was real bomb pussy. For the males, I think it was called um real bad players or some shit like that. Um, Sly movers, moonwalkers, like you had shit like that. Rebels on the dance floor. Shit, you had like a bunch of them. Yeah, you still see some of those like rockabilly club, like the greaser type groups. I used to know some individuals that were called from um, the Innocents, and they were like a greaser crew. And they would sometimes beef it with like like tagging crews, and there would be fights and everything. I used to know a homie from there named Ham. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. Got to get back to it. It was a chopping it up with you guys, and we out.